that stardust What? Once I get you up there, I'll be holding you so near. You may hear all the angels cheer because we're together. Otherwise, it's such a lovely day. Just say the words and we'll meet the birds down to Acapulco Bay. It's perfect for a flying honeymoon. They say, come fly with me, let's fly away. Once I get you up there, where the air is rarefied, we'll just glide, starry-eyed. Once I get you up there, I'll be holding you so very near. You might even hear a whole gang of cheers just because we're together. Weather-wise, it's such a cuckoo day. You just say those words and we'll take our birds down to Acapulco Bay. It's so perfect for a flying honeymoon. Oh, babe, come fly with me. Let's fly. Pack up, let's fly away. Like a small bag. I've got you under my skin. I've got you deep in the heart of me. So deep in my heart that you're really a part of me. I've got you under my skin. I tried so not to give in. I've said to myself, this affair, it never will go so well. But why should I try to resist when, baby, I know damn well that I've got you under my skin. I'd sacrifice anything, come what might, for the sake of having you near, in spite of a warning voice. Comes in the night and repeats in my ear. Don't you know, you fool, you never can win. Use your mentality, wake up to reality. But each time I do, just the thought of you makes me stop before I begin. Because I've got you under my skin. call and find that you're really she's something feeling like a toy on a string, and your heart goes ring-a-ding-ding, ring-a-ding-ding, ring-a-ding-ding. How can that face that seemed to be commonplace drift right into space without any warning? Don't know if it's morning, nighttime, winter or spring, but it's the difference. Ring-a-ding-ding, ring-a-ding-ding, ring-a-ding-ding. She takes your hand, this captivating creature, and like it's planned, you're in the phone book looking for the nearest preacher. Life is swell, you're off to that small hotel, and somewhere a village bell will sound in the steeple, announcing to people love the loveliest thing, and the bell goes ring-a-ding-ding, ring-a-ding-ding, ring-a-ding-ding. She grabs your hand, this captivating creature, and like it's planned, you're in the phone book hunting for the nearest preacher. Life is swell, you're off to that small hotel, and somewhere a village bell sound in the steeple, announcing to people love the loveliest thing. And the bell goes ring-a-ding-ding, ring-a-ding-ding,
afternoon, and good it is, the class of 2015. Members of the class, would you please be seated? Before we get into our commencement exercises, a little bit of housekeeping. We ask that all cell phones and all electronic devices be turned on vibrate or mute for the duration of the exercises. In addition, when the time comes, we will be taking photographs of all the graduates as they receive their diplomas coming across the front. There will also be a photo taken of the graduates after they receive their diploma. They're going to walk out there and then they're going to turn back to their seats, and there'll be a photo taken there. All of these photos will be available on the photographer's website for your review and purchase. You'll be receiving an email in about 24 hours directly from the photographer with the necessary information to view the individual photos of your son or daughter and all those candidates taken before, after, and during the ceremony. At this point, may I please ask the graduates and members of the audience to please rise as Brooke Thornhill, the all-school president of John H. Glenn High School, leads us in our Pledge of Allegiance, after which the Elwood-John H. Glenn High School Band will perform our national anthem. At the conclusion of our national anthem, may I ask that you remain standing for a moment of silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Silence in remembrance of those family and friends of significance to our graduates who have passed away and who are not able to physically be with us this afternoon. Thank you. Please be seated. Thank you, Mrs. Henson, and members of the high school band for sharing your musical talents for us during the processional and the Star-Spangled Banner. I would also like to thank the John Glenn High School PTA and SEPTA for their generous support all year in hosting events for the students and parents of our district and for their assistance in keeping parents informed of the activities occurring in high school. I would be remiss if I did not thank specifically our PTA President, Ms. Stacy Katz, and our SEPTA President, Ms. Terry Zenobia. These are very special individuals who have been absolutely terrific to work with throughout this past year. Lastly, this event involves well over 1,200 people and takes an incredible amount of coordination to make happen in an organized and dignified manner. In addition to all our staff who are working this afternoon to move the ceremony along, special thanks go to all those involved in the preparation that has to get done. The amount of time and coordination is mind-boggling, but somehow it all comes together. That somehow is due to the time and diligence provided by our clerical support in the main office and guidance, the custodial and maintenance staffs, and I'd be remiss if I did not mention John Pearsa, who coordinates the maintenance staff, our paraprofessionals, and two folks very special to the principal. Those are our assistant principals, Ms. Carissa Brzezinski and Mr. Leroy Cole. This truly is a Herculean job requiring a dedicated team effort, and I thank the entire team for making this happen. We also welcome all those who are viewing this ceremony via the live internet webcast, wherever you may be in the world. We encourage you to sign the guest book on our webpage and let us know where in the world you are viewing this ceremony from. A special thanks to Mr. Gene Tranchino and his staff for making this live webcast happen. Gene, thank you very much. Gene is up in the booth. Well, we're here. Members of the Board of Education, Mr. Scordo, fellow staff, family members, and friends of the graduates, and to our honorees, the class of 2015. Good afternoon and welcome to a very, very special day for all of us. The time has arrived for us to allow these young men and women in front of me to cross the threshold into John H. Glenn alumni land. As we enjoy the traditional trappings of an Elwood-John H. Glenn High School graduation, may I offer some brief comments. I begin my remarks by saying congratulations and thank you to this wonderful group of young men and women seated here. Collectively, these students have more talent, resolve, drive, patience, and dignity than any principal could ever hope for. As parents, they truly reflect the class of seniors who all of us would like our kids to be. While I will address our honorees in a minute, a few thanks are in order. First, very special thanks is owed to all of you in the hall today. The parents, grandparents, siblings, friends, and other relatives of today's graduates. Moms and dads of the graduates, you're the best. Not all teenagers realize this at the same time, but at some point, whether in their teens or somewhere down the road, it becomes very obvious to them. No matter what they have expressed verbally or by action, their appreciation is there, and I know you must feel absolutely wonderful about your sons and daughters today. Congratulations to you. To you, the grandparents and great-grandparents of the graduates who are with us this afternoon. I hope to live to the day when I can see my grandchildren reach this milestone in their lives. Well, there are certainly many grandparents who regrettably are with us tonight in spirit only. I offer my congratulations to you as you beam with pride and wait to hug your grandson or granddaughter after the ceremony. Congratulations to you. To the brothers and sisters, be these your older or younger siblings, you are very special to our graduates. I know all about sibling rivalry, and no doubt so do you. But today, you being here to support your brother or sister is creating a memory that the two of you will share for a long, long time. Congratulations to you. And to other relatives, and friends of the graduates. You have taken time out of your busy schedule to be part of this ceremony, and we thank you very much. It is obvious that you have a very warm feeling about the graduates, and your being here adds that special touch to what is already a magical moment. Congratulations to you. I also offer a special thank you to the staffs from each of the Elwood schools who have serviced these students and parents with such a professional, caring, and sensitive approach. While we at the high school get to work with the students for the last third of their career and help them to prepare for life after public school, we know full well that these graduates and all their successes are the product of experiences they have had throughout their 13 years of schooling. All of the staff share in your pride on this day. Congratulations to our staff. Before I speak directly to the graduates, in that this was my initial year in Elwood, may I take a second to offer my own personal thanks. To the parents of John H. Glenn High School, thanks for letting me into your life. We as educators get to influence and help young people develop, knowing full well that our students are your most important possession. You're part of an incredible community that puts children first and does whatever is necessary to support them. I've had the opportunity to deal directly with many parents, and sometimes in stressful situations, but you have never lost sight of the goal, and that is the long-term best interest of your children. To our staff, and many of them are here today, you are one of the most professional, caring group of people with whom I have ever been associated. First and foremost, you like kids. Second, you care about them. Third, you continue to take your profession seriously and are always looking for ways to improve your craft. And fourth, and most impressive, your passion and compassion are without compare. To Mr. Scordo and the Board of Education, thank you for giving me the opportunity to be part of this incredible school district. I have seen much in my 46 years in education, but this last one at John H. Glenn High School, although not planned nor easy, has been most rewarding. And lastly, and I'm not sure she's here, but she's supposed to be, to my wife Sue, who has allowed me to take on this daily, crazy, full-time arrangement simply because she knows how much it means to me. Now, back to our honorees. I offer to my friends, the graduates, that as you get older and have the opportunity to experience the real big world, you'll find yourself drawing on your experiences from Elwood, and those experiences will be very helpful towards your effectiveness, whatever your mission. While all of us witnessing your graduation today can wish you success in the future and a guarantee for continued love, there are certain areas in which we can only offer advice. My request to you is that you continue to take on your short and long-term challenges with the same level of decency that you exhibited in Elwood, in whatever endeavor you're involved. My gift to you as you leave Elwood is not material, nor is it profound. Just some thoughts based upon what I have learned by listening and watching while serving in a leadership role. I hope these 10 thoughts will have much meaning to you, as they do to me, as you take on the challenges that are now before you. Number 1, it takes years to build up trust and only seconds to destroy it. Guard it. Number 2, it's not what you have in your life, but whom you have in your life that really counts. Cherish them. Number 3, you can get by on charm for about 15 minutes. After that, you better know something. Number 4, you can do something in an instant that will give you heartache for life. Think before you act. Number 5, you can keep on going long after you think you can't. You just have to believe. Number 6, your attitude is your key to success. Don't let anyone but you control it. Number 7, heroes are people who do what has to be done when it needs to be done, regardless of the consequences. Emulate them. Number 8, our background and circumstances may have influenced who we are, but we are responsible for who we become. It's your choice. Number 9, even when you think you have no more to give, when a friend cries out to you, you will find the strength. And lastly, credentials on the wall do not make you a decent human being. Be considerate of others. You are good people, our sons and daughters of Elwood. We appreciate who you are and what you have done. And we includes everyone joining us today and those who are not able to be physically with us but are here in spirit. May you move on to the next chapter in your life with memories of your extended family and friends in Elwood, and spread the spirit with the approach that impacts others. I know there's a story behind each and every one of you, and all of these stories are important. To you, my friends, a group of young men and women, all very special, I wish you good health, good luck, good wishes, and good skill as you head along this journey called life. I love you all. The Elwood School District Board of Education has been incredibly supportive to the students and staff of our district. We truly appreciate their commitment to a high-quality educational program for all of our students. To offer a welcome to the class of 2015 from our board, it is indeed my pleasure to introduce Mr. Joseph Fusaro, a member for 12 years and board president for the past 4 years, and Mr. Dan Ciccone, a member for 12 years and board vice president, also for the past 4 years. Mr. Ciccone is also the proud parent of one of our members of the class of 2015, Ms. Victoria Ciccone, so this is really a special day for him. For both of these gentlemen, this is their last official act as members of the Elwood Union Free School District Board of Education. And we cannot thank them enough for their combined 24 years of dedicated service to the students, parents, staff, and residents of this community. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce to you Elwood School District Board President, Mr. Joseph Fusaro, and the Elwood School District Board Vice President, Mr. Dan Ciccone.
Thank you, Dr. Ruck. And I would like to thank everyone sitting to my right and also sitting to my left for the impact and the support that you have given our students, the class of 2015. A special thanks goes to everyone sitting out in front of me who have guided these children, students, from infancy to where they are today. We've just had the good fortune of having them during their school age years. I offer you congratulations, class of 2015. It's a beautiful day for a graduation, and we have plenty of time to give you our words of wisdom. But I will keep mine short because, as Dr. Ruck said, my friend and board colleague, Mr. Ciccone, has a daughter who's graduating. Congratulations. So I defer our time to Mr. Ciccone. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you very much for being here today, and thank you, Dr. Ruck, Mr. Scordo, my esteemed colleagues on the Board of Education, and all the parents and relatives and friends of the graduates that are here today. It's a tremendous honor to speak at this commencement. The John Glenn class of 2015 are truly extraordinary young men and women. The year I was elected to my first term on the Board of Education, you were all in kindergarten. Only half-day kindergarten, but look what you've achieved anyway. Had to get that in there. You have many great accomplishments on your transcripts and resumes to take on your journey into the future. Personally, there are many great moments of the past 12 years that I can see in my mind's eye and hold into my heart. I remember being a secret reader at Mrs. Birnbaum's and Mrs. Adamo's classrooms, and memories of watching you all march in the Halloween parade in your little costumes going into circles in the parking lot. I remember field days, even back then thinking that Robbie Valdez was already showing great athletic promise. I also had the honor of speaking at the Boyd Moving Up ceremony. That was another tremendous honor. Then seeing you in middle school musicals, Fame. That was such a great show, and very impressed by all the budding talent in the middle school. And for all of his wonderful performances throughout the years on the Elwood stage, how could any of us ever forget Sean Donovan's rendition of Pants on the Ground during Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory? That will stay in my mind forever. I have had the great pleasure of watching you grow into scholars, musicians, artists, and athletes. In a few minutes, you will hear from Trevor and Kelsey, our valedictorian and salutatorian, and be introduced to 8 other highest performing scholars from the class of 2015. Their academic achievements are the reflection of a consistent dedication to their work in the classroom. The class of 2015 is represented by much more than just the top 10 scholars. Casey Gross, your sweet and endearing personality captures the spirit of this class. Stella Blue, you remind us that the life is a combination of science and art, and you excel in both in a masterful fashion. And Victoria Ciccone, our Huntington Tony Award winner for Best Asterisk in a Musical for her performance as Miss Adelaide in Guys and Dolls. What can I say? To see an actress transform into a character to the point where you forget that you're watching your own daughter on stage is simply surreal and quite amazing. As athletes, you show an equal amount of dedication to excellence, and your competitive spirit on the field, court, or mat is unparalleled. You collectively brought home many trophies this year and quite often competed for the best in the county or on Long Island. The girls' volleyball team competed in the state finals, again. And Emily Taylor's top performance in New York State for the pole vault can simply be defined as poetry in motion. And our football team, well, you didn't win a championship this year, and I know that irks you. But the combination of grit and tenderness and the character and class displayed by our players and coaches during the events of this past season is more deserving of our pride than any Glen football team that has come before you. In my opinion, you are the champion among champions. I look at you and I see all that you have become, all that you are, and know that cannot be captured on a standardized test. But during your life's journey beyond Elwood, there will be times that you will be put on lists, be part of a statistic, measured by numbers, and reduced to data points. But in the end, it is the essence of your humanity that will count the most. The class of 2015, a graduating class that has experienced triumph and tragedy. There are those among us that belong here today. There are those that are not here today that belong among us. Manny Bozes, my parents, Tori's grandparents, and of course Matt Lawrence and Sean Erda. And all of the loving friends and relatives that you keep in your heart that would have been here today if they were not taken from us too soon. At different times, we have appropriately paid them all great tribute with words, spoken or written, and with memorial services and events. Nonetheless, the greatest tribute to honor those that have been taken from us is to live a life that they would have been proud of. A life of unwavering integrity, hard work and accomplishment. A life dedicated to worthy cause and the greater good. A life of giving and a life of gratitude. A life filled with love and connection to family, friends, and community. This past Sunday was the 40th anniversary of my high school graduation. And for all of you that can't believe that I'm that old, God bless you. And for those of you who do believe that I'm that old, I'll say nothing. But 40 years, it doesn't seem possible. Reflecting on my life over that time is just a series of moments It's like 1,000 selfies stored in my mind. Now I know that some of you took 1,000 selfies just the other night at prom, but I won't go there. I remember my senior year in high school, I had a plan. I was going to play football at a D1 or a D2 college. I was 17 years old, I was 6'4", 240, I could bench 365 and squat almost 400 pounds. I did sprints all summer long to get my speed below a 5-second 40, and I ran 4.9 on the first day of practice. It was my senior year and I was ready. Then finally, opening day came. It was a home game. It kicked off. I ran out on the field with the rest of my teammates on defense, and on the second play of the game, I broke my wrist in 2 places. 2 days later, while visiting a surgeon, I had a very significant moment. I realized that sometimes life has other plans. I have to tell you that in the 40 years later, I still feel disappointed in my heart, and I wish I could have strapped on those pads just one more time. But it simply just was not meant to be. Less than a year after graduation, I found a great need to leave Long Island. I went to visit a cousin in San Francisco, and less than a week later, I had a job, an apartment, a car, and a couple of very angry parents. Amazingly, I found work in a very prestigious high-fashion men's clothing store. I was on my own, supporting myself. And 8 months later, after getting there, I became top salesman in the store, making a nice living for a 19-year-old. It seems that I discovered I had a penchant and I discovered that I had some skills as a salesman. So one day I asked my manager, the guy who hired me, I asked him, gee, I walked in off the street, going door to door, wearing a leisure suit, a wild print polyester shirt, and platform shoes. I had a thick Long Island accent and was nervous as hell asking you for an application. So I asked him why. And he said simply that I reminded him of an old friend that he had in New York. So I responded to him, you mean I was just lucky? Because I reminded you to someone? And he looked at me and he said, luck? Perhaps. But you walked through the door. Yeah, I said to myself, I walked through the door. And that was another special moment for me. I have taken those incredibly simple words with me since that time, and I wanted to pass them on to you. In those simple words, I found profound meaning. Opportunities can only be captured if you put your fear aside and walk through that door. My concern is that in the current school landscape, we make you afraid of failure. And we all seek to achieve success. But the truth is that we often learn more and discover more opportunities through failure and disappointment than we ever do from success. 40 years after my high school graduation, I can tell you without hesitation that fear of failure and disappointment can cripple you and is your worst enemy. Ironically, fear of failure becomes fear of success. Fear of failure can rob you of your relationships. Fear of disappointment can lead you to have a fear of falling in love. You must walk through that door. You must put yourself on the great stage of life and audition for the parts that you want to play. You see, life is really no different than it was 40 years ago or 40 billion years ago. People, like atoms and molecules and microorganisms, from the beginning of time have found a way of bouncing off one another into this incredible natural selection that life grows from. Like the beginning of the world, whether your path of life comes from divine intervention or simply natural consequence, I cannot tell you. But I do believe that you will become a product of the people you connect with and the result of your experiences that you are responsible to create for yourself. Personally, I've been down many paths in my life's journey, and you likely will too. I have had relationships where I enjoyed great love, but also experienced some heartbreak along the way. I've achieved great success in my business, but also had many, many failures and disappointment. That's life. What can I tell you? But the sum of my relationships and experiences over the past 40 years since that day on that football field at Connecticut High School brought me here to Elwood, a community that I love. And then soon after arriving here, I was blessed with 2 daughters who I love with all my heart. There is a magical moment when you hold your child in your arms for that first time and you look at that little face. That is a moment when you realize that you are no longer the most important person in your own life, but yet it's okay. It's the moment when you realize there is a love inside of you that will last forever and can never be diminished. And that's how all of us feel about all of you. I have been granted with the honor and privilege to have addressed the class of 2013 and now the class of 2015 and hand both my daughters their high school diploma. I have also had the pleasure to share these last 12 years with all of you. This is a time in my life that I will treasure forever. All of my choices and experiences have led me to this moment. So I am lucky enough to say I have come this far with no regrets, and I would not trade this moment with anyone. This is my final statement to you as a member of the Board of Education. Your life will be an amazing journey. May it be filled with love, health, generosity, and gratitude. Live a life of commitment to preparation, because the will to win or the desire to succeed is meaningless without a commitment to prepare. Be ready for life's other plans and do not fear failure. Learn from it. And remember, the most important song you carry around with you is not on your iPad or phone. It's the song you carry in your heart. Congratulations to the John Glenn class of 2015. The whole world is waiting for you. God bless you. God bless the Elwood community. And God bless America. I love you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Fisera and Mr. Ciccone. At this time, I ask the senior band members come forward and join their fellow members of the John Glenn High School Band. While they're walking up, let me just tell you, we've had the pleasure of hearing these talented musicians so many times over the past 4 years. We now proudly welcome for the last time Diana Bartolotta, Sean Dunban, Keith Edwards, Casey Gross, Matt Henningsen, Alex Itzler, Tyler Klufel, Bridget Layton, Isabella Yano, Jillian Marks, Tam Wynn, James O'Brien, Jasmine Piggott, Anthony Pino, Thomas Priest, Daniela Ramos, Colin Roy, Barbara Ann Ryder, Kyle Schiller, Alexis Semler, Justin Svitek, and Brooke Thornhill, as they hold their last performance as students at John H. Glenn High School. Ladies and gentlemen, John Glenn High School Band playing Hunting Scene by Satoshi Yagasawa. Thank you, Ms. Henson, and members of the John H. Glenn High School Band. Wait a second till they come back. That breeze, if you can feel it, maybe you can't feel it up there, but it's very nice. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time for our seniors for their last performance. Thank you. It is indeed a pleasure to welcome our president of the class of 2015, Ms. Allison B. Cordy, to share her remarks on behalf of the class of 2015. Allison possesses a remarkable combination of scholarship, leadership, citizenship, and character that we attempt to cultivate in our young people. She's a young lady with patience, kindness, giving attitude, and incredible leadership potential. Her goal in all she does is to help make John H. Glenn High School a place of excellence in every aspect. Allison's work ethic, spirit, and commitment to others as someone who is kind and giving represents well the class of 2015. She has been a member of our all-school government since she entered high school. Allison has been an excellent and well-respected leader here at John H. Glenn High School. Her pride in the land of the Knights is without compare. Allison is a rising future leader in our society. She will be attending Binghamton University this fall. Ladies and gentlemen, our class of 2015, Ms. Allison B. Cordy.
Class of 2015. Together since preschool, we have prepared ourselves for this very moment. This moment where we and all of our best friends have grown out of Elwood. This moment where independence is in the immediate future. This moment where we have run out of having just one more year at John Glenn. This is that moment where maturity becomes reality and the so-called best 4 years of your life have expired. It is time to grow up, say goodbye, but keep in touch with all of the beautiful relationships and opportunities that we have created here at John Glenn. Extensive enthusiasm, humor, and friendship have blossomed within our class throughout the past 4 years. Together we have experienced endless craziness and excitement throughout years of rooting for our sports teams or performing in musicals, embarrassing ourselves at Mr. Glenn, or even in our day-to-day classroom mischief. Not a day has passed in these halls where you don't feel comforted by a familiar face. For example, Desiree Kelly, who you would find laughing, screaming, snacking, or all of the above. We will take a piece of John Glenn with us as we progress into collegiate life, the military or workforce, and as we grow older. We will always cherish certain aspects of high school. We will remember how the bell meant you can finally escape your most dreaded class, senior privilege first class runs, or the flooding of the senior parking lot. We'll remember friendships we created and discoveries about ourselves and the world that we have sought out. We will use what we have learned in order to adapt to changes found in the real world, like our new ability to use the bathroom as we please without being taunted with, "I don't know, can you?" The class of 2015 can be described as a diverse and strong-willed but entertaining group of teenagers. However, the most prominent quality we possess is our endless strength and camaraderie. Through all of the events of the past 4 years, the love and compassion that we have displayed makes me so proud to be able to call you all not only my classmates, but my lifelong friends. There are 2 students who should be joining us here today. The bright smiles of both Matthew Lawrence and Sean Erda are 2 smiles that have left the earth, but will undoubtedly never leave our hearts and thoughts. The support that we have shown each other this year is indescribable. I'll never forget the comfort that we created for each other in a time where the idea of comfort was so foreign. Through tragedy, our class has learned that we are stronger together than we are as individuals. I don't think there will ever be a class with more love in their hearts. We will cherish the memories we had with both Matt and Sean, for in these will be stories that will live on forever. We will cherish Sean's laugh and Matt's smile, and we will cherish how we learned to treat each other and heal in a time of immense grief. Both Matt and Sean's legacies are models for the life we will carry out as we venture into our own personal futures. They have shown us that it is vital to adore every experience, moment, and relationship. Their positivity, leadership, and radiating spirits will resonate with us forever. I would like to take a moment to thank both Matt and Sean for how they have inspired us, and I ask you all to join me and stand for a moment of silence. Thank you. You can all be seated. Our experiences at John Glenn would not have been the same without the guidance and influence of many people. First off, thank you to all of the parents. Thank you for all you have done throughout our academic careers and our social lives. Thank you for driving us around after school and buying us our first cars. Thank you to all of the teachers for opening our minds to new explorations every day. Thank you for acting as mentors and for putting up with some of us. A special shout out to teachers who have first period seniors. Sorry for all the latenesses and yellow passes. Thank you to all the coaches, musical directors, and club advisors. Without your direction, we would not be on the well-focused tracks that have led us thus far in achievement. Thank you to Dr. Rupp for being the most involved and compassionate man to roam the halls. Senior year would most certainly not be the same if you were not our principal. Thank you to Ms. Kalinowski for heading practically every event ever and for your constant involvement with the student body. Thank you to Ms. Sizik for being the most amazing class advisor for the past 4 years. You have acted as a friend, leader, and voice of reason for our class, and especially for the student council. Thank you for always listening and respecting our crazy ideas and running with them. As we have all been in go mode since this past September, preparing for life after John Glenn, and counting down the days until we are official alumni, I suggest that we take a moment to stop and reflect on right now. This is a spectacular moment. We are finally here, cloaked in our caps and gowns, and surrounded by friends who we swear will be forever. We are being silently cheered on by our parents, loved ones, and teachers that are anxiously staring down on us. And in this moment, the foundations for our future have officially been set. We may be kids from a small town and a small school with extensive dreams and heavy hearts, but we have done it together, spanning from Harley to high school, and I am so thankful to have been a part of it.
Thank you, Allison. Pretty special young lady. It is indeed a pleasure to welcome our salutatorian, Ms. Kelsey Hackett, to share her remarks on behalf of the class of 2015. Kelsey is a very talented and goal-directed young lady who strives for perfection in all that she does academically. She has completed 10 advanced placement courses and achieved a 6-semester weighted GPA of 98.1. Kelsey is one of a select few students nationally to score a perfect score on the ACT. She hit the perfect score plateau on 3 Regents exams, English, U.S. History, and Algebra 2 Trig as well. Kelsey has explored many interests and passions throughout her high school career. She has achieved at the highest levels because of her love of learning and innate intelligence. Some of her most fulfilling activities include the mathletes, where she was captain, chamber choir, chamber orchestra, science olympiad, where she too was captain, and tennis. Kelsey will be taking her love of learning and many talents to the University of Virginia, where she will be studying biology this fall. Ladies and gentlemen, the salutatorian of the class of 2015, Ms. Kelsey Packard.
Hello. Before I begin, I'd like to say thank you to the administration for the opportunity to speak today, and especially to Dr. Ruck, who's been such a wonderful addition to our school this year and next year as well. And also thank you to my teachers, who've been so kind to me and enthusiastic about their respective fields. Thank you to my family. I'm sorry you had to deal with me for the past, like 4 years, but I promise I'm really gonna try to be cool from now on. I love all of you, even those who couldn't make it today. And well, to my fellow graduates, I wrote you a letter. So, dear class of 2015, high school has been about learning. Obviously, we learned some chemistry or something because we're here today, but the real learning has been about people, and significantly about ourselves. Figuring out who we are is the crux of being a teenager, the almost constant inner battle of judging oneself. We decide, okay, I fall down the stairs a lot, I must be a klutz. But the next day we feel very graceful at dance class. It's remarkably confusing to determine which of so many emotions and thoughts and actions are characteristic of ourselves. Despite that confusion, I figured some things out in my time here. I learned that when the big things, namely the future, feel out of my control, focusing on the small bits of life helps to overcome that fear. I learned that I find solace in nature, and if you've ever noticed the tree pendant hanging around my neck, know that it symbolizes the growth that I strive for. The most important thing I learned is that my mother is my greatest ally and one of my very best friends. Every morning she kisses me goodbye, and every night she tells me that she loves me forever. She taught me that love and laughter heals almost any wound, and I am blessed by something inexplicable to have her. So, thanks, Mom. You, my fellow graduates, have taught me something as well. I've seen a wide range of compassion in my time here. I've seen strangers give each other hope, such as when my friend Grace, a cancer survivor, wore her just grown-in hair to school. She felt very insecure about it, and then someone told her that they loved her hair like that. Grace gained a hope that day that she still talks about years later. I watched us reach out to one another this January after Sean passed away to see if anyone needed help. Whether it was a text reminding a friend we were there for them, or putting together fundraisers to contribute to Sean's Memorial Scholarship Fund, we all made sure to help one another. As sentient human beings, we've been blessed with the power to empathize, to walk in someone else's shoes. It is our responsibility to use that power. It is our responsibility to try to understand why someone may be acting the way they are. Sometimes the thing we don't see, insecurity, an unstable home, can cause some egregious behavior. Whatever that reason may be, it's that which makes people call others arrogant, rude, irresponsible, lazy, promiscuous, annoying, and so on. But there's a lot that goes on in my mind before any action, and I feel it's the same for a lot of you guys too. We can't know the extent of the disparity between someone's thoughts and actions unless they confide that knowledge in us. But by assuming that there might be that difference, we give each other the leeway to make mistakes. We're young and life is big and confusing, and it's okay to not know who we are right now. We just have to understand when someone makes one of those inevitable mistakes that maybe everything isn't hunky-dory with them. Maybe our peer doesn't know what to do. Maybe, like you and me, they don't know exactly who they are yet. If you weren't so sure before today of what made us, as a class, band together in times of hardship, the answer is empathy. If we practice this with a little more regularity, and it makes life beautiful and a little easier, whether it was Grace getting told that she looked beautiful or anything. I've learned from you, my peers, that empathy is the source of all the kindness you've ever shown. I was diagnosed with depression when I was 16 years old. On days when that illness battered my soul, the kind words of just one person made all the difference in the world. When someone asked me, "Are you okay?" Even if I didn't tell them everything, it made a difference. When someone told me I looked nice, it made a difference. When someone laughed at my jokes, it made a difference. So thank you to anyone who ever took the time to brighten my day or anyone else's. You mattered so much more than you think. To the class of 2015, thank you for all the wisdom you've imparted on me. Thank you for the laughter. Thank you for helping me become who I am today, whatever that may be. There are feelings and memories that we share that no one else ever will. Teachers we've had, the jokes we've made, like Lake Glen or Elwood-John. Even this day, all of it is unique to our class. And by these things, we're bonded forever. So, love always, Kelsey.
A special young lady. Thank you, Kelsey. It is indeed a pleasure to welcome our valedictorian, Mr. Trevor Loshan, to share his remarks on behalf of the class of 2000. Over the past 4 years, Trevor has challenged himself with the most rigorous academic program offered at Elwood-John H. Glenn High School. He has completed 9 advanced placement courses and has achieved a 6-semester weighted GPA of 98.2. Trevor has been actively involved in a multitude of activities both in high school and the community as well. Most notably, varsity soccer, where he was academic all-county, Habitat for Humanity, which he was treasurer, Knowledge Masters, Volleyball-a-thon, and peer tutoring, to say just a few, while somehow finding the time to achieve a black belt in Taekwondo. As we know, Trevor is highly creative and talented with a great sense of self-confidence, along with a steadfast focus on his future goals. Trevor will be studying biology on a pre-med track at Columbia University this fall. Folks, we're in good hands. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to present the class of 2015 valedictorian, Mr. Trevor Loshan.
Hello, and good afternoon to everyone. First and foremost, congratulations to the class of 2015. If you'll allow me, I'd first like to thank a couple people for the help over the last 4 years. I'd first like to thank my parents for always pushing me to my best. I can just hear their voices now. Trevor, good speech. Could I do better? Thank you, Dr. Luck, Mr. Cole, Ms. Brzezinski, and all of our teachers for the hard work that you put in each and every single day. It really means a lot to all of us. A special shout out goes out to Ms. Pai for helping me write this speech. To those members of our class who are enlisting in the military I thank you for your service and for your sacrifice. Another shout out goes out to the boys soccer team. I will always cherish the memories we formed on and off the field. And lastly, but certainly not least, thank you, Tam Wen, for hooking me up with the school's Wi-Fi password. In the words of Kevin Durant, you are the real MVP. We certainly have learned a lot in these last 12 years together. There's a lot of things that most of us will never use again outside of a classroom, like the fact that the cell, the mitochondria, is the powerhouse of the cell, or the history of the Ming Dynasty. But we also learned that Mr. Berto's jokes can be so corny, they cause actual physical pain. Mrs. Kruger taught us the horrors of chewing gum in computer labs. And Mr. Harrington, well, he taught us that our generation is doomed, and the Chinese already own the country, so we might as well start learning Mandarin. Most importantly, we learned that our time is not unlimited. We are not invincible, and so we might as well enjoy our lives. For the last 4 years, the adults have been making our game plan, and it was our job to carry it out. They told us to go to class, study hard, and get into good college. So we wind up with a stable job, a good marriage, a big house with a big white fence, and 2.5 kids. Thoreau once said, "Most men live lives of quiet desperation." I see this all too often. These are the people who wake up 20 years later as investment bankers, who never got to fulfill their dreams of seeing Europe or writing poetry. Don't be that guy. Right now, all of you are lucky enough to chase whatever dream you want. And some of you don't know what dream you want to chase, and that's perfectly okay. Go out and explore. The world has so much more to offer than outside the bubble of Elwood. Over the course of the next few years, you will find people you love spending time with and things you love doing. Hold on to those as tightly as you can. Your success in life is determined by how well you pursue those things and let them shape your life. It seems easy to remember now, but life is easy to get swept up into. It always seems that there's one thing we have to do. You say, first, I need to graduate, then I'll start living. So you push off all your stuff until then. But then you have debt and lots of bills. So you say, I'll wait until I have a job. And then promotion sounds nice, so you put in the extra time and you kiss the appropriate butts. And then the deadlines start piling up, and before you know it, you've gone your entire life without living. You are officially a zombie. A good measure for how well you live your life is by taking stock of any given day in your life, of the hours that you spend. If you spend 10 hours a day working at a job you hate and only get to see your family for one, can you really say you're devoted to them? You will never just find time for anything. If you want time, make it. I would be remiss if I didn't talk about two members of our class who aren't here with us today, Sean Erda and Matthew Lawrence. I know you'll agree with me when I say that they are very much here with us in spirit. Though Sean and Matt passed away, their lives were not lost. They will always be a part of our class and continue to inspire us as we carry on. And so, I leave you with one final thought. You will never have more hair, brain cells, or energy than you do now. Make the most of it.
They pay you to come hang around those guys. America's a nice place. Trevor, thank you very much. Next, this time I ask our senior chorus members to come forward and join their fellow members of the concert choir and mixed chorus. Like the band, we have had the pleasure of hearing these young, talented vocalists so many times over the past 4 years. We now proudly welcome Carla Bonilla, Nicholas Bozes, Caitlin Chiodo, Solomon Choi, Victoria Ciccone, Jenna Camo, Gage DeQuino, Kerry Donelman, Sean Donovan, Semisola Femalusi, Ethan Felizari, Carolyn Friedman, Casey Gross, Kelsey Hackett, Matt Henningsen, Julia Hyacinth, Vicky Ingracia, Bridget Layton, Isabella Yano, Caitlin McGuckin, Anna Mendoza, Jasmine Piggott, Thomas Priest, Jessica Schaefer, Daniel Schindler, Maya Seo, Emily Spooner, Justin Svidek, Brooke Thornhill, Ia Vainberg, Robert Valdez, and Amanda Weiss. As they hold their last performance, students at John H. Glenn High School, ladies and gentlemen, Little Wonders by Rob Thomas. I should mention soloists Jessica Schaffer and Tori Ciccone.
Let it go. Let it roll right off your shoulder. Don't you know? The hardest part is over. Let it in. Let your clarity define you in the end. We will only just remember how it feels. Let it slide. Let your troubles fall behind you. Let it shine until you feel it all around you. And I don't mind if it's me you need to turn to. We'll get by. It's the heart that really matters in the end.
Might you have hidden the package somewhere? I know you're pointing, gentlemen. Where are you? Thank you, Mrs. Nagel, and members of the concert choir and mixed chorus. Senior class officers have traditionally shared a moment during the graduation ceremony to offer their appreciation on behalf of their classmates. At this time, will the officers of the class of 2015 please come forward? The class of 2015 officers are, and you've met Allison Biancardi, President, Matt Murphy, Vice President, Ashley Blower, Treasurer, Isabella Yano, Secretary, and Jacob Pagan, Honorary Executive Assistant. Folks, if you'd come up.
Hi, everyone. So today we have two very special people that we need to thank. These people have guided us and made our high school experiences ones that we will never forget. First, I would like to greatly thank Ms. Kalinowski, our student council advisor, for always being there for us and organizing so much to make our lives here at John Glenn so memorable. Without her, we would have not nearly as many events and activities that we appreciate so much on a day-to-day basis. Being able to learn from her every day and watch her do so much while thinking about all of our happiness in mind is how I was able to realize how special she is and how much I appreciate everything she's done for us and how much I'm going to miss her next year. Next, I would really like to thank Ms. Sizik, our class advisor. I still remember the first time that we met at freshman orientation because she never lets me live down how excited I was. If only then I could realize how much she would affect my life and all of ours from then on. From endless float meeting buildings at my house to hanging out in your room when all of us just needed a breather and to relax, you've always been there for us. I look up to you, I idolize you, and I can consider you a friend. I cannot even begin to thank you for all the energy and effort that you have put into making our high school experience what it was. Your support and guidance is something that all of us will cherish forever, so thank you. With that in mind, we got both of you a gift just to show you how much you mean to us and how we'll never forget everything you've done. So thank you.
Ms. Sizik and Ms. Kalinowski are the best. Thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, and members of the class of 2015, it is time to present the class of 2015 to Mr. Scordo, our superintendent of schools. Before I do that, though, and I take a second to share some thoughts. Our superintendent takes significant pride in this district and all the people associated with it. I know I'm preaching to the choir, but let me. His passion for excellence and equitable commitment to each and every student is well known. His personal knowledge of our staff and students is incredible, the result of his direct involvement in each building. I know, for he has said it in many situations, that his belief in and appreciation for the class of 2015 is without compare. I speak on behalf of our entire high school staff, and I'm sure our district staff and student body, in sharing our deep appreciation for the leadership with vision, compassion, and commitment that you have brought to Elwood every single day, year after year. Mr. Scordo, it is with a great deal of pride and pleasure that I present to you a very special group of young men and women the class of 2015, all who have successfully completed the requirements necessary for an Elwood-John H. Glenn High School diploma. All of us here today join you in the joy of seeing you officially authorize them as graduates. Mr. Peter Scordo, Superintendent of Schools.
Thank you very much, Jim. And good evening. In a few minutes, I will be certifying and handing you your diplomas. And before I do, I want to congratulate you, class of 2015, on all your accomplishments in the classroom, on the playing field, on the stage, and in the community. You're an exceptional class and should be proud of that fact. And we look forward to hearing great things about you in the future. I thank your parents and guardians for supporting us in our work. And Dr. Ruck, thank you for deciding to come to Elwood. Special thanks to our Harley, Boyd, middle school and high school faculty and staff, along with our central office staff, and especially our Board of Education, for their excellent work and their commitment to you. And so, Dr. Ruck, the time has come to certify the diplomas. I do therefore certify and attest as the Superintendent of Schools, in accordance with the laws and the regulations of the State of New York, the New York State Board of Regents, and the Elwood School District, that all those students here present have successfully completed all requirements necessary to graduate from Elwood-John H. Glenn High School. Congratulations. Dr. Rupp will now present two very special diplomas.
Thank you, Mrs. Scordo. We are about to confer the diplomas on the members of the class of 2015. I'd like to have the first two diplomas of the class of 15 be presented to the families of two very special members of the class of 2015, who, while not being able to accept it themselves, are certainly smiling down upon us and their fellow graduates, and are with us all in spirit today and forevermore. Our first graduate is Matthew Lawrence, and presenting the diploma is Matt's middle school principal, Mr. Pat Scarola, and accepting the diploma on behalf of Matt is his sister, Marissa. Our second graduate is Sean M. Erda, and presenting the diploma is one of Sean's favorite teachers, Ms. Allison Pilaker, and accepting on Sean's behalf is his mom and dad, Nicole and Gary Erda. Mr. Scordo, if you could join us out front. Ladies and gentlemen, we will start with the presenting of the diplomas to Matt and Sean's fellow classmates. Mr. Bertram will begin with the reading.
Monica Abad. Joseph Acquaviva. Aliyah Ahmed. Corey Ainsworth. Armand Akund. Sam James Alfanorian. Matthew Algerio. Alchin Altunen. Matthew Annexstein. Whitney Arno. Jake Axenfeld. Victoria Austin. Brandon Avilas. Diana Bartolotta. Crystal Bazile. Allison Bellsheim. Alexa Bellini. Jessica Van Ender. Priscilla Benedetto. Sarah Tahir Buddha. Allison Biancardi. Jake Blanton. Ashley Blower. Carla Bonilla. Christopher Bosco. Nicholas Manuel Boses. Najir Brown. Kayla Brown. Mark Cassiopo. Quentin Caffrey. Peter Serrato. Jun Chang. Ibrahim Shotai. Stanley Chang. Caitlin Chiodo. Priya Johan. Solomon Joy. Chanu Choi. Maria Victoria Chewinski. Damon Chung. Victoria Ciccone. Nicholas Citarella. Luke Citarella. Jenna Michelle Kamal. Simone Cooper. Caitlin Corazada. Brittany Coulston. Johnasia Crosby. Matthew Chicheka. Stephen Anthony Del Vicario. Gage D'Aquino. Kyle DeSimone. Catherine Devitt. Alexander Dindial. Carrie Donnellan. Sean Edward Donovan. Leandra Dunphy. Keith Edwards. Latavia Ellison. Jordan Lee Evans. Abner Fajardo. Simisola Famalusi. Christopher Famalusi. Ryan Ferretta. Ethan Falazari. Ryan Bissett. John Fletcher. Ever Flores. Andrew Frazier. Andrew Friedman. Kimberly Friedman.
Deanna Nicole Galati. Peter Giorgio. Raymond Gonzalez. Aaliyah Graham. Patty Range. Stacy Gross. Kelsey Hackett. Amir Hadi. Quentin J. Hardy II. Matthew P. Henningsen. Gordon Hepburn. Dana Lynn Herlick. Jesse Hahn. Julia Hyacinth. Alex Jessica Itzler. Artemy Victor Jaderinsky. Stephen Janis. Christopher Califatis. Kevin Kowecki. Haley Alexandra Keene. Sydney Kelly. Desiree Martine Kelly. Neha Khan. Albert Kim. Hassan King. Morgan Rose Kliss. Tyler Thomas Kufeld. Thomas Kraus. James Kraus. Sarika Krish. Nicholas Labella III. Catherine Lee. Bridget Ann Layton. Nicholas Lepore. Isabella Yano. Trevor Amit Lochen. Melissa Loglisi. Nicole Lundy. Brett Lyons. Michael Mannix. Julian Marks. Stephanie Mazzo. Caitlin McGuckin. Brianna McMahon. Olga McGarris. Anna Camille Mendoza. Tana Mohammed. Matthew Murphy. Cassandra Napolitano.
Tam Nguyen. Juliet Norelli. Derek O'Brien. James O'Brien. Tiara Nicole Ogus. Brandon Orlando. Jacob Pagan. Andrew John Pick. Jasmine Piggott. Anthony Pino. Lorenzo Papora. Matthew Perello. Juan Portillo. Stella Blue Porzingolo. Dante Pastorino. Thomas Priest. Daniela Ramos. Renee Rant. Brian Riley. Joseph Rizzuto. Quinn Ronan. Colin Roy. Christina Rubino. Barbara Ann Ryder. Rebecca St. Paul. Dimitri Santillo. Brian Saltzman. Michelle Faith Saltzman. Simone Sanderson. Matthew Sangenario. Carly Sangenario. Max Saslow. Anthony Schack. Jessica Schaefer. Tristan Schaefer. Jonathan Schaefer. Kyle Schiller. Daniel Schindler Jr. Morgan Schwartz. Lauren Scott Mohammed. Alexis Semler. Jesus Seo. Carrie Sewell. Anthony Scambati. Michael Scambati. Victoria Shapiro. Kyle Schuler. Lucas Schrout. Mary Simonelli. Michael Simonelli. Monica J. Civilli. Owen Smith. Samantha Lee Summers. Matthew Spaulding. Alexis Filer. Emily Spooner. Jacob Spring. Tyler Aiden Starr. Victoria Steinlaw. Phoebe Sullivan. Justin Sweetek. Emily Taylor. Brooke Thornhill. Thomas Tiernan. Jacqueline Teutsch. Christina Torzilli. Ian Bainberg. Robert Valdez. Ani Vardanian. Leah Vardanian. Sean Ward. Benjamin Waters. Amanda Jillian Weiss. Morgan Week. Brianna Wright. Jenna Yaisley. Noah Yaskowitz. Douglas Young.
Ladies and gentlemen, class of 2015. At this point, before we even go to this point, let me just take 1 second. You're probably aware of it. We have, in the class of 2015, 9 sets of twins. Could we ask the twins to stand up? Pretty impressive. Ladies and gentlemen, the senior officers who you met earlier will now come out and lead the class of 2015 in the tassel turn, followed by the cap toss. Joining them will be the members of the class of 2015 All-Student Council. All of these young men and women have been exceptional leaders throughout the years here at John Glenn High School. They are Brooke Thornhill, President; Julia Hyacinth, Vice President for Student Affairs; Michael Scambati, Vice President for Public Relations; Caitlin Corazada, Vice President for Public Affairs; Amir Hagi, Vice President for the PTSA Liaison; Renee Rand, Secretary; and Nick Bozis, Treasurer. Now, the significance of the tassel tournament. Let me ask if the graduates would please rise. The significance of the tassel turn is that when the students move their tassel from right to the left of their caps, they have symbolically moved from soon-to-be graduates to graduates. They do this in unison to reflect the solidarity of the class of 2015. After the tassel toss, tassel turn. I get excited. The officers will then lead a countdown to the cap toss. If you have a camera, I suggest that you get it ready. The members of class of 2015 toss their caps in unison, and it makes a very impressive picture. We will be proceeding out immediately following the cap toss, and we ask that you allow the graduates to leave before exiting your seats. You can meet them out the outside of the school or in front, or if they're coming back here to meet you. But at this point, I would ask senior class officers and all school officers if you will lead with the tassel toss. Nice and loud. Tassel turn. I'd like you to meet the graduate, the alumni class of 2015. At this point, from the Edge Gang, cap toss, 1, 2, 3, and up. Remember? Follow your officer. 1, 2, 3.